Hey guys, Michael Merula here. As you know, The Unknown World of Ida is my illustrated book that I have been developing for over a decade. It's fantasy world-building project with several interconnected stories that tells the history of this world. Today we are diving back into the Empire Fall storyline, especially exploring what happened after the collapse of the Tarkan Empire and the emergence of new kingdoms from its ashes. But before we reveal the new Asheron civilization, I believe it's essential to explore other civilizations of the time to understand the circumstances that led to the rise of the Asheron Kingdom. We will look at the individual cultures and warriors of that era who fought during the empire downfall. I will discuss their ancient origins, lore, inspiration from real history, what ultimately became of these people. In the ancient times of the continent, extensive forests were inhabited by Almarians, divided into three groups: the original and oldest Almarians, the Eastern Rians, and the Western Silurians. Each group possesses distinct characteristics drawing inspiration from Celtic and Germanic cultures. Since the days of the legendary King Tarak Aquila and his campaign against Volterra, the Rians have been part of the Tarkan Empire, initially as allies and later establishing their own Rian dynasty. Centuries later, during the cataclysmic catastrophe known as the Great Flood, barbaric hordes of the Tengri nomads from the north seized the opportunity to raid the weakened Tarkan Empire. This led to empire's collapse and the rise of the Asharon Kingdom on its ruins. While some Rians escaped and established their own kingdom on the edge of the Tengri steppes, the remnants of the Tarkan population fled westward, founding their kingdom of Taren. Inspired by Turkic nations, the Taranians achieved prosperity and education, engaging in the trade wars and supporting claims during the Godfrey's rebellion. In the late age of this war, the Taranians embark on the voyage westward in search of the sunken island of Atlanteans, uncovering various mysteries. Now let's shift our focus to Asheron. The very first story for the Unknown World was Godfrey's rebellion. At the time there was only unnamed island depicted on the map. This island served as the backdrop for the conflict between the Umbrians, rebels, which is now called Silurians, and the creatures called Froblins. However, as the project evolved, I introduced new content with a desert faction. Over time, I abandoned the idea of fantastical creatures and focused on creating more realistic and historically grounded world. Thus, the monsters become myths, and Desert of the Ancient Kings become place inhabited by ancient Nahari. But I still had an idea lingering in the back of my mind, a lost ancient kingdom that disappeared before Godfrey's rebellion. After years of development, this kingdom fell into the place for me. I am calling it Asheron. Founded on the ruins of the Tarkan Empire, the nation of Asheronians emerged from the merging of its original citizens and the Tengri invaders. The name Asheron is derived from combination of inspiration symbolizing the kingdom's origin from ashes, grief, and dark atmosphere. The Asheron warriors, influenced by both Tarkan and Tengri cultures, reflect a blend of heavy infantry and cavalry divisions, with bat wings adorning their helmets and lamellar armor inspired by Tang dynasty of China. They exude dark and formidable presence. However, internal strife led to eventual downfall of the Asheron Kingdom. Despite its brief existence, the kingdom's rise and fall echo real historical events, reminiscent of how the Mongols conquered China and established their own dynasty. As I have mentioned before, my YouTube channel is primarily dedicated to documenting the development of this project and sharing inspiration for the fantasy fans like you. Your feedback, ideas, and comments play a crucial role in shaping of this world. This project is constantly evolving and changing. That concludes today's lore for the Unknown World of Ida. This storyline is still at the beginning, so I would love to hear your thoughts and feedbacks. And for the latest updates on the progress of art and lore, be sure to check out my Patreon. Special thanks to my Patreons Gerard and Simon for their never-ending support. If you enjoy it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Love you all and see you next time.